Whenever we are creating any particular table in SQL Server, we will create a table with the data type of a column. Now, what exactly is the data type that I am talking about? Data type is something which defines to SQL Server that what information are we going to include in that particular column. Let me give you a real-time example. So you are a student. Now when you are filling up your student registration form in the university, then we will fill up the student's information. Am I right? So let us consider the student details as a student name. So student name and name consists of a characters. So you have to tell to SQL when we are creating a table that I am using the characters in this particular column called student name. So in the same way, whenever we are creating any particular table, when we have only 5 particular columns, when we have only 10 particular columns, it is very easy to determine the data type and all. But what if the case when we have dumped the data from other data source into SQL Server and there is a confusion that we have not used the right data type? Then what is the possible solution? Hi, I'm M. Asif Hussain from KnowHow Academy. What are we going to learn in this video? We are going to learn how to create a table in SQL Server and how to change the data type in SQL Server. So we have the SQL Server here. So in this SQL Server, let me go and create a table. The syntax of creating a table is create table, table name. Let me consider the table name called sample1, any table name your choice. I'm opening the parenthesis. I am considering the column called ID, which is integer, comma. I am considering another column as name. Now name consists of the characters. So now when I'm talking about the characters, we should also specify to SQL that how many numbers of characters are we going to use. So for that, let me give you a simple example. Let us consider I am writing the column name as name and I have to include the name of a student. So when I am including the name of a student, as I have specifically mentioned to SQL that I am using some 20 characters space, or let me consider some 5 characters space. What if the case the number of characters in a name is more than 5? Then SQL Server will not allow the value to enter. It will pop up an error. So we need to be sure that how many number of characters are we going to include. As we do not know the exact number, we have to give as much as the maximum number so that we are on a safer side. So let me consider here that I am choosing the name also as an integer. Then I am considering another column such as, let me consider it as the column called address. Now address I am considering it as a data type as varchar 200. Now I am creating this particular table. So when I am creating this particular table, the commands completed successfully. The table is completed successfully. Now let me go and insert the values in it. Insert into, what is my table name? My table name is sample1. And here what I am going to insert? I am going to insert the values in this particular table. So when I am inserting these values into this particular table, let me consider the ID column, which is 1, comma, name, and the name I would like to insert my name here without considering the data type. So comma, let me consider the address as Gujarat. So now what I am trying to do, when I execute it, let us see what is the error. The error is telling us that the conversion is failed when converting the varchar value asif to the data type integer. So my dear viewers, we have to make sure that the particular data type that we have used while we are creating a table is integer. It is integer. Now when I have given the data type as integer, it is allowed only to insert the numbers here. When I have kept it integer here, we are not allowed to enter the characters in the place of integers. So now this is a problem. We have created a table. We are trying to insert the values in a table, But when we are trying to insert the values in a table, we are not getting the result because we have wrongly entered the data type. So now what we have to do, how to change the data type in SQL Server. So this is the question. So to know that, we have to follow the syntax called alter table, the table name that we have to consider. And here, after we write the table name, again we have to write the alter column. Now I am writing the column name and the data type that we have. So this is the syntax. This is the syntax to change the data type. Okay, this is the syntax to change data type. So with the syntax, let us go and try to change the data type for the column name from integer to varchar. So let's do that. So what I am doing it here, when I am trying to alter table, what table I am altering? I am altering the table sample1, alter. What column I would like to alter? Name column. So I would like to alter column. What column? Name column. With what data type? Varchar data type. So before executing this, I would even like to show you the location of it. I'm coming to Object Explorer, and under the databases that we have selected, under the tables, we have created sample1 database. Under this we have columns. As we can see that the name column is integer that we have it earlier. Now with the help of this alter, I am trying to convert the integer data type into varchar data type. So let me execute this particular query. The commands completed successfully. Now let us try to go and insert the values into this particular table. As I have already changed the data type of this particular column, now in the same Object Explorer, if I go and refresh my table sample1, we can see that the name is now converted into varchar 200 data type from the integer data type. So now what I am trying to do, I am going to insert the values. Insert into table name is sample1. What I am inserting? I am inserting the values. So what is the value? ID 1, comma, Asif is the name, comma, address I am considering it as Gujarat. Now what I am going to do, I am inserting this into my table. Now the commands completed successfully. Let us go and retrieve the table. Let us go and retrieve the table. Select a star from what is my table name? My table name is sample1. My table name is sample1. Now we have the record successfully entered. So whenever we are trying to change the data type from old data type to the new data type, we should make sure that what particular data type are we mentioning and are we using the alter command or not. That is very important. Then we can happily change the data type of any column in SQL Server. So in this video, we have learned how to create a table, and we have also learned how to change the data type in SQL Server. Thank you for choosing KnowHow Academy as a source for IT knowledge. We are always here to help you to navigate the tech world. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you. Stay curious and keep learning.